LWO1 WeatherNet. Liftoff conditions looking pretty good.
SFS is ready for launch.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Falcon 9 has cleared the tower.
Ten, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Resource system downrange. Power range telemetry nominal.
What beautiful views from Falcon 9 first as it lifts off from Cape Canaveral Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space
Falcon is
Station.
supersonic.
We are carrying our 53 Starlink satellites to orbit. Moments ago, we throttled our engines down in preparation for max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure, which we should be passing through in just a few moments.
XQ.
We did just pass through max Q, and we will have 3 events happening in quick succession in just a few minutes, which first we will have main engine cutoff, followed by stage separation, and second engine startup 1. So first main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 of the Merlin 1D engines that you can currently see firing will shut off to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation. And this is where the first and second stages will separate, with the first stage starting to make its way back down to Earth for landing, while second stage continues on its journey to the third event, which is second engine startup 1. And this is where the single MVAC engine on the second stage will light up, and this propels the MVAC, propels the second stage along with our Starlink satellites to their targeted orbit. We're about 30 seconds from main engine cutoff here. You'll want to watch for main engine cutoff, stage separation, and SES1. They'll happen just a few seconds apart from one another. We will also have our fairing deployment from our second stage very shortly after those 3 events, and we should hopefully get some cool live views from our second stage. You can see the Falcon 9 first stage going through the mist there.
Stage separation confirmed.
We did have main engine cutoff and stage separation. You can see second engine startup. We did have MVAC ignition, that is second engine startup. On those live views from the second stage on your right, you can see the first stages
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
We did have a successful stage 1 entry burn. And stage 2 is continuing to look good with our Starlink payload. For those of you who follow along, you'll know about the soot on the rocket. We did get confirmation that stage 2 flight termination system has saved, and we should have second engine cutoff here very shortly.
Tico 1.
We did have second engine cutoff here, and we are waiting on confirmation of a good orbit from our second stage. We did have a good burn and a good orbit.
Insertion.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
We did have the start of our stage 1 entry burn. You can see on those live views, that's a 3-engine burn of the Falcon 9 first stage.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
We did have a successful stage 1 entry burn. And stage 2 is continuing to look good with our Starlink payload. For those of you who follow along, you'll know about the soot on the rocket. Indicates that it's been flown before, and here's a quick explanation of how that soot forms. So the rocket-grade kerosene, or RP1, used to fuel a Falcon 9 is carbon-based. So when this fuel burns, it generates soot. Now, as the booster approaches the landing site during descent and does its long re-entry burn, which it just did, to slow down prior to re-entering the atmosphere, the rocket will actually fly through its own plume, which deposits the soot onto the rocket. And if you watch the feed from the onboard cameras during landing, you can see that soot sticking on the lens. So we will have 3 events coming up here in quick succession. The stage 1 landing burn, which will be starting here shortly and last about 20 seconds.
Vehicle is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn startup.
Here's the stage 1 landing burn. Can maybe just make out that drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean there. We are still waiting for confirmation of our first stage landing, but we will see if we can't get some information on that. But we do have a successful orbit and second engine cutoff for our second stage. And we did just get confirmation of our stage 1 landing.
Acquisition of signal, Newfoundland.
This is the 87th overall successful recovery of our Falcon 9 first stage. And next up will be payload deployment at about T plus 15 minutes and a half. Again, Starlink is a satellite internet constellation designed and
Starlink deploy confirmed.
You can see we did have successful deployment of our Starlink satellites here. And again, Starlink is a satellite internet constellation designed and manufactured by SpaceX that can provide high-speed, low-latency internet to people living in remote and rural locations all around the globe. You can see our 53 Starlink satellites floating away from the second stage there with the beautiful backdrop of the Earth in the background. And of course, thank you to all of our viewers and all of our Starlink customers who are using our service at this time. If you're interested in signing up for Starlink service, head over to starlink.com. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.